Good afternoon, y'all. It is a blisteringly, beautifully hot day here in Dallas, Texas. I have a little iced tea to keep me cool while I do this. I breathed it and then sipped at the same time. Okay. Want to make a quick little video with some critiques that I have about my Sabbath video because rigor is important. If you watch the previous vlog, that is the whole point of this, is to advance this dialogue, among other things, to advance this dialogue in a rigorous and reverent manner. So here we go. Like I said, notes, mic. Let's get going. So first of all, I have 1, 2, 3, 5. I have 5 main critiques. There's probably more, but these are the ones I could think of. First of all, my degree is not in my performative Zoom library background at the beginning. I fixed it, but it should have been there. Number 2, now on to the actual ones. So for religious practitioners, tip number 1, keep the Sabbath, about the Sabbath, isn't a tip, it's a requirement. Like I made the video intentionally so that people of any and all belief systems could find value in it. But there are particular extra things if it is your belief system that the Sabbath is derived from. The main central one of those is that the Sabbath is mandatory. It's one of the 10 Commandments, I believe. I think, yes. So I definitely could have emphasized tip 1 more. I think that the day should be kept about the day to the exclusion of the rest of it, keeping the sacred sacred. Yes. All right. My next one is that, and this is going to be a kind of a broader one that applies to this video, but will apply to the channel. That y'all can give feedback as to how well I'm working with it. But so, like I said, I am identify with the Christian label. Of all the options, I think it's the best one. And so my subjective Christian orientation is at conflict with the kind of mechanistic optimization framework that I used to present the information. I wanted to present the information non-dogmatically so that it could be of value to anyone. To justify those practices and that practice without the kind of dogmatism that turns people off from it. To be like, hey, even if you take out the God says so kind of thing, which is the way it's talked about a lot of times, it's still a very valuable practice for a number of reasons. And I tried to get that across. From certain perspectives, that's valid. From a theological perspective, that's not necessarily all that valid. But so I did it in the hopes that the practice would, just to encourage the practice, and then eventually, hopefully, not necessarily, but hopefully, the theologically correct justification would just emerge. Like people would do it because it was good for them, and then in doing it because it was good for them, a greater curiosity would build. And I think it's important to be open and honest about that kind of thing, because not doing so is disingenuous. And I also don't want to be seen as, not necessarily even to be seen, I don't want to be a person that coerces rather than persuades. Um, because that is antithetical to what I believe to be good and true. So open dialogue, very high value, rigor, the pursuit of truth above all. Both religion and science are fundamentally making sense of things, trying to get a better understanding of what's going on. So yeah, I think I've probably said enough about that one. So I think the next one, the emphasis on optimizing, like the optimization framework, can actually be counterproductive to rest and recovery in a lot of cases. Yeah, that one seems fairly self-evident. I don't think I need to explain that all that much. If you focus too much on doing things correctly and doing the right things, even if those things are rest and recovery, then it won't be as effective as if you're actually resting. Yeah. And then the last one is a kind of critique of rigor, I would say, is I could have been more systematic in the selection and the presentation of like the tips and the modes for reducing allostatic load and engaging with the sacred. For the most part, the definition of the Sabbath, fully systematic. Could have made a Prisma diagram for that, would have been awesome. But the rest of that was very inductive, very inferential. It would have been more rigorous if I, for example, found a meta-analysis of practices that reduce allostatic load and then started from the most substantiated and worked my way down, as opposed to drawing from the sacred and the profane, taking examples from that, and then mapping that onto what scientific research is available. I don't think it invalidates it, but I do think that it is a way that I could have improved it, or maybe structured it better. So yeah, I think those are my critiques of my video. Let me know if there are any others. Like I said in the first vlog, this is a process. This is a process of learning for me, for you. And the only thing I like better than being right is being wrong, because that means I'm about to learn something. So I'm getting really sweaty, and I think that will do it for today. All right. See you in the next one.